Alright, well, been a long time again since I've uploaded a video. I've since moved house again, but it's been a long time since I've introduced my project cars. I believe in the last video, I still have my daily, the 2014 Passat TDI. The Borers are gone. I've had a couple of those since. I've had a few other cars. And then currently right now I'm building a 1.9 litre TDI Polo. And if you notice, I've got two of the things. This one over here has a massive turbo, 120% fire adds, 3-inch exhaust, all the head studs, everything it needs to make good power. This one's already got it. The thing is, the shell's stripped and the body's unregistered, and there's no way in Australia I'd be able to get this back on the road. So the motor out of this one is going into this one, which is a 2010. It's a high, top of the line model. Pacific TDI, and yeah, this is my project car that I'm planning to turn into a track car. This is the first ever engine swap that I've done myself, so it's actually been quite the process. I've just been making sure anything that I remove, I label as I go. That way, when it's time to put it all back together, it's actually going to be possible. But as you can see, I've sort of given this side a little bit of a clean up. I tried to hit it with some heavy duty cleaner and see how that went. This side hasn't been touched yet. You can see it's significantly more dirty, but I will give the bay a very, very nice detail before I stick the other motor back in. But yeah, as we go, I've run a boost gauge and EGT gauge through the firewall there. I've got to wire up all the inside of the car, but I'm going to do that once I've got more room to open the doors. And over here, we've got the N75. This is a replacement for the typical vacuum box that you would find up on a stock AXR motor set up like this. This motor's done 230,000 Ks. So is this shell here. This one over here is done 150, so significantly lower Ks on that one. But yeah, this is the project, and I'm swapping everything into this one. Look underneath that 2010 Pacific. You'll notice I've got a white line sway bar add-on, as well as BC coilovers already installed. Remembering I'm going to turning this into a track car. You can see I've got the standard Pacific wheels with Viking tires. They are cheap, terrible tires. I'm going to be using the Polo rims off the Bora. Again, that's the standard Pacific rim right there, but I'm going to be using my old Volos. They're a 17-inch rim. Good big brake clearance if I decide to go down that route. I'm going to be pairing them with a 215 4017 Nankang AR1 semi-slick tire. That with the BCs, the white line sway bar, everything going in for that, I think is going to make for a very nice handling car. Again, I'm going to give all the guards and everything a nice big detail out, as well as replacing obviously the brake rotors and hopefully maybe even calipers going bigger. But yeah, so yeah, it's going to handle well. I've also got a front sway bar here. I'm swapping the subframes between the two as well. This style here has a pressed steel subframe, and if you can see the bushing type there, there's no room there to get like the anti-lift style bushings in. Whereas if we come over to the 2008 Polo, you look in here and it's got all anti-lift bushings, etc. So I'm going to be swapping the subframes between the two, as well as that subframe brace, etc. I'm going to be making this a very, very rowdy car. And if we look up here, there's the GTB 2265 Turbo. Alright, and since the last video clip, a lot of progress has been made. You may notice the white Polo is no longer here. However, we've now got that aluminium subframe into this Polo, as well as a white line front sway bar. You can see the 3-inch full exhaust system is under this Polo. As well as that, we've got our Super Pro shortened end links. Also gone out and purchased a set of Polo 9N3 GTI wheels, painted the calipers, painted the rotors. Yes, I have painted the rotor surface. Yes, I'm aware that black paint will just disappear the first time I brake. It's simply to hide the rust that was around the edges, the hub, and in the slots of the dimpled and slotted rotors, just to make it look a little bit better. Other than that, the bay is still looking the same. It's a lot cleaner. I've got a new coolant overflow bottle on the way, and everything in here is pretty much done. Now, this is where it gets a bit interesting. So obviously all my parts are over here, my drilled out airbox, my front mount AirTech intercooler, the crash bar or the radiator support for this one, the cutout crash bar for the intercooler. This is the motor that's going in it. As you can see, there is no oil in the motor. And I've cleaned the motor right up. It's very nice, very clean, pretty much well ready to go in. We have a pinion brace in our O2R gearbox, and that's ready to go back in. The big hold up right now, well, the two things to do. Tomorrow I'm making a new plate here for the EGR. This is where the EGR goes in to measure the exhaust temperature. This one that was in there just has a slightly bigger thread than my EGR kit for my EGR and boost gauge. So I've got to replace that. And the other thing, you can see there's my nice big turbo I've done. We come down here, this is the clutch that come out of the Polo. And as you can see, there is a lot of heat spots. It's a VR6 Sash's clutch. I can't remember what actually suits. However, as you can see, lots and lots of heat spots. So currently my progress is completely delayed. I am now waiting on a clutch. I've ordered some other parts in the meantime that I'm also waiting for. Like I said, I'm going to be doing the new coolant bottle. I'm also got a new throwout bearing on the way and a rear main seal as well. So it's going to be all ready to go. But right now, the biggest hold up are those parts and the clutch. I've gone for a CG Motorsports twin plate with a light and flywheel clutch, so it should be really, really good. But that's going to probably be a month away still. So unfortunately, the Polo is stuck on jack stands until then. So with that being said, this is an introduction to my Polo build. I hope you guys have enjoyed and looking forward to getting this thing on the road as much as I am. And with that being said, catch you guys in that next video where hopefully we start getting it ready to be put back on the road.